Hello, everyone. Uh, Good evening and welcome to In the Gallery. Tonight, we are going to do something a little different. We are going to cover some cases outside of the gallery, so they're not going to be courtroom cases or trials. They will be current event true crime cases. So, with that being said, let's do a little switcheroo. And we are going to cover the first case I want to cover today is this case out of Florida. So I'm sure you guys have heard about this as of recently. I think it's, on Law and Crime, it's on People, True Crime, it's on Court TV. So this mother, she offered to sell her 18-month-old daughter for $500, police say. She was arrested for charges of child abuse, child neglect, child abandonment, and she was accused of trying to sell her 18-month-old daughter for $1,500, guys. Um, it's a really sad story because it makes you wonder, like, what would have happened? And you don't want to think about it, but it's just like, what would have happened if this child was not found by someone that was a decent, upstanding citizen that reported this to the police. Um, so she was loitering around a business in Paul Paltalka Paulatka Paulatka. I'm the worst with pronouncing names like that. With her daughter, when an employee asked Woods if she needs assistance, Woods told she told the citizen that she did not need anything but offered to sell the child to the citizen for $500. When the citizen refused to purchase the child, Woods walked away, leaving the daughter behind. The employee immediately brought the child to the police department. Um, Officers and the agency's victim advocates provided care for the girl until the Department of Child Facilities took custody of her and she was placed into foster care. This is a sad story. And then the detectives obtained a warrant, and Woods was taken into custody on March 7th. She's held on bail, a $255,000 bail. Now, this is just a sad story because, listen, I'm not going to say, obviously, I mean, there's some stuff going on there. I mean, I don't know what that stuff is, but it's a sad story. And I hope the best for this mother because I'm sure that, you know, this is rock bottom. It's just it's this is a sad story. So you just never know, but I'm sure that, this we'll see what actually ends up happening with this one, but it's just sad that things like this happen and the children are the victims. The children don't win in this. I mean, no one wins, right? But it's just the children that completely lose out when they're placed into foster care because obviously, foster care has its own issues as well, so uh, you just never know. You just never know, especially with the way a lot of human beings are and the opportunities that they find themselves in and the way they may try to proclaim that they are an upstanding citizen when in reality their motives are not the greatest. So that's the sad part of it. Okay, so this next story I actually want to get into is this one hits a little bit close to home for me just because when I saw it, obviously I'm in New York, so when I saw this story regarding the shooting in the subway station, I was just like, where is it? Like I'm constantly on edge in the city. Um, so it was really it was scary. And this story is from the Post, and they're basically they interviewed one of the witnesses, and she said it was her worst fear. And as a New Yorker, I can definitely say this is your worst fear. And my heart goes out to everyone that was on this subway car, because you want to you're just always on edge, and you want to be safe. You just want to get to work, you want to get to wherever you're going. Maybe you're going out to eat, maybe you're doing something, but you just want to get where you're going and get home safely. That's all you want to do. And it's just, you never know. It's just so unpredictable on the subway every day. um but I did see the video of this occurrence. Now, I don't have all the details in terms of who was in the right, how that started, all that stuff. But it did seem like one of the guys was the aggressor, the one that ended up being shot. And it seems like they're not actually charging the girlfriend or the boyfriend that were in the altercation with this man. Um, so it seems like there was an altercation. The two men started scrapping. They got into, a physical altercation. People are on the train shouting. There's children on the train. Don't do this. Please don't do this. The situation continues to escalate, and then you see the girl walk by. Now, people initially, I believe they said he was stabbed and shot with his own knife and gun. But it seems like the knife, I don't know where the knife came from, so I'm not even going to speculate where the knife came from. But he gets touched with the knife, and he obviously notices. He starts saying, "Did you stab? You stabbed me. You stabbed me." And then he proceeds to get his gun, and then you see him lock and load his gun, and then it's all mayhem once that happens. It's all mayhem. The person that was recording is out of there once the gun is pulled out. And you know, everyone's just trying to make it out there, make it out safely, and you just hear multiple gunshots going off. So apparently the gun went off. The the people defending themselves, I guess you would say, obtained the gun, and then they were able to, yeah, they were able to get out of there with their lives, I guess. It's just, you know what it is? I don't know exactly how that situation played out, but if it did play out where the man that was shot was the aggressor in this situation, it's like this is exactly my point of why everyone's on edge, because you just never know when someone's going to do something crazy, when someone's going to have that moment and say, today's my day where I'm going to wreak havoc, where I'm going to cause a scene, where I'm going to do X and X. And it's just like, I have little patience for altercations on the subway, as do many people. So I try to really distance myself from people, and not have any interaction, as does every other New Yorker. But it's just those situations where people are antagonistic and they want to start something. And from the video I saw, the guy that got shot was the antagonizer. He was starting the altercation, and he was the one that um escalated it, I guess. So you just never know. But yeah, New York, I don't know. They need to do something in New York. Listen, I know it's not as bad as the 80s. I know it's not as bad as, just like the worst times New York has seen. But at the same time, it's like, why are we comparing it to that? Like, we're so much further along. Like, we should be saying, like, okay, wow, look how different it is. I mean, it is different in its own way. But yeah, I think we could do more. I think the city could be safer. And I think um, you shouldn't have to be on edge just to go to work. So, anyway, I digress. So yeah, let's get into the next one. So this is Rex Heuermann. Okay. So the Long Island serial killer, Lisk. The Long Island serial killer was a case that haunted me for years, okay? For years. Because like I said, I live in New York, like you just never know. And granted, you know, I didn't think I was necessarily going to run into him, but you just never know. And turns out, guys, he ended up working 2 blocks away from my old office. Okay? So really, I could have seen this man any day of the week. I really could have. But anyway, I'm sure you guys are familiar with the story of the Long Island serial killer. If not, definitely look into him. I will most likely cover that trial when it does happen. But who's to know when that's, really going to happen because they're building a huge case. There's so many things with this case though that are just so weird between the police chief and the, the corruption out there. There's a lot going on out there. And I ended up listening to a podcast a few years ago. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I'm blanking on the name of it right now. But it was a great podcast and it really talked about because they knew people from that area. And it really talked about all the different possibilities of who it could be. He didn't come up, obviously, but it seems like there were a bunch of different, I guess, sex cults or different behaviors that these people in power were into. And I'm not sure if Rex had any relation there, but there's just so many rabbit holes with this story. But anyway, the headline today is Rex Heuermann's estranged wife says suspected serial killer is not capable of murder. She doesn't think that he could do it. Now, I don't know if this is like some form of like Stockholm syndrome or like this is some form of like I don't know. But okay, granted, she's known him for a very long time and she wants to believe him. I think they were married like 20 something years. She wants to believe him. I get that. But when you have all of this evidence, when you have your hair on the duct tape or on the duffel bag or the what is it? The burlap that was used to wrap one of these victims. It's like what more evidence do you want? And I'm actually surprised this is a headline just because I know that she filed for divorce, I believe immediately. It was very soon after I want to say it was like 2 or 3 days. Now, that could have been so she could have some peace of mind. So maybe people back off and she's like, well, I'm divorcing him. And maybe now that she's had time to think, she is second guessing herself or questioning her choices. But she's saying we need to give him the benefit of the doubt. And we all deserve that. Now, listen, everyone is innocent until proven guilty. I will say that these are all alleged charges. He has not been convicted of anything. But as I'm just saying, if I were the wife, this has nothing to do with the actual court case yet. It's just if I were the wife, I would feel like at bare minimum, you are cheating on me. That's it. At bare minimum, whether you murdered anyone or not, at bare minimum, you were cheating on me, and that's a problem. So I I don't know about this one. It's just sad that she just believes him so starkly, I guess. But these are the victims here. um, Maureen, Brainerd Barnes, Melissa Bartholomew, Megan Waterman, Amber Lynn Costello. Yeah. Um, but it's just sad. It's just a very sad case, and it's sad that she seems to still be a victim of his almost. I guess that's the best way to put it, because he manipulated her just based on the condition of their home and how they lived. And I just I don't want to say I feel bad for her, but at the same time, I wouldn't wish that on anyone. Like, it's just a sad circumstance. That's what I'm trying to get at. Um okay, so next headline I really want to get into, and this is something that I feel very strongly about. Florida man arrested after 27-year-old woman found dead on a cruise ship heading to the Bahamas. Now, this is the problem. This is the problem with cruise ships. I love cruise ships. I do. Especially, you have to get the drink package. Always get the drink package, okay? It's well worth it. I know it's like, "Oh, am I really going to drink that much?" Yes, you will. Okay? Yes, you will. It's a cruise. You're on vacation. Live your life. But my issue with cruises is that, one, those railings, those you could just boom go overboard. No one would be the wiser. Yes, now I know they have like these infrared cameras, they have all these things to search for you. I don't trust it. Oh, but she was found dead on the cruise ship, actually. Okay, okay, I'm gonna get to that in a second. But first I want to talk about all the people that end up going overboard. It's like 20, 30 people a year easily that just disappear off of cruise ships, and you're supposed to be on vacation. So it's not like they're really talking about it that much. I don't care for it. I don't care for that part of cruising. But let's read this. So, a 32-year-old Florida man has been arrested in the Bahamas after a woman was found dead on a cruise ship. Around 5:30 local time on Monday, the Royal Bahama Police Force was contacted with reports of an unresponsive passenger on board a cruise ship on the island of Grand Bahama. Okay, she was 27. She was from Florida. She was found unresponsive. Okay, cocaine. Okay, 32-year-old man. Okay, okay, okay. That's sad. And that just speaks to another part of, like, you can't you have to be very careful nowadays with these these products. You don't know what's in them. You just never know. You just never know. Um and it's unfortunate because i- back in the day you would think we would be more sophisticated now, but if anything, things are worse. Things are way more dangerous. Things are way more toxic. Um So the next story I want to talk with you guys about here is an American woman found tortured and killed in Mexico was going to see boyfriend before she disappeared. Reina Hernandez went missing from Washington state and was found tortured and killed in Mexico days later. Now, I have heard that there are things like organ harvesting and things like that people will do, but being that she was going to go see her boyfriend, could this have been domestic violence? Okay, authorities are telling the reporters here from People magazine they're investigating it as a domestic violence charge. 61 years old? Oh, wow. Oh, she was 54. Oh, she looks great. I didn't realize she was 54. Um, I mean, not that 54 is so old, but I just didn't think she was 54. I thought she was like in her 40s or something like that. Um, yeah, that's sad. That's so sad. So it seems like there was some type of domestic violence altercation. She had gone dancing that evening. Oh, wow. She saw her friends. She showed up with the black eye. Ay, Dios mío. That's horrible. And see, that's the thing. You know, when you have a friend, like she saw her friends saw her probably with this black eye, and they probably said to her, like, don't stay with him, you don't need this, you know. But we always leave it up to someone to make that decision for themselves, right? Because it's their life to live. And it's just so sad because you just never know that that could be the last time you see that person. And, you know, rest in peace. And it's just a very sad situation. Yeah. Domestic violence is nothing to mess around with, guys, because it's just, you know, like I just said, like you just never know when that tipping point will be. Um, you just never know. And you know, I think that's a good segue. I do want to talk about the upcoming cases this week. So what we have going on right now is so the YSL trial is still going on. I have not watched it except for like maybe a couple of exciting moments, like when they played Lifestyle in the courtroom. That was interesting to me. I did enjoy that. When they had the gang member there that was doing like the gang signs and stuff, that was interesting to me. I did watch that. But other than that, the YSL trial, I know it's the Rico stuff going on. I know, but it's not doing it for me. Oh, we're back to talking about in the gallery. So I am going to okay, we're back in the gallery, guys. Okay, so the Rico trial's on this week. I'm not really watching it, but if there's anything fascinating, I will update. Um, and one trial that I do want to get into this week, it's been going on, I think it's on day 9, so they're probably going to be getting close to deliberation soon. But the Idaho versus Daniel Howard case. So this is the bathtub murder case. It's suspected now. Did she end her life, or did the husband end her life? Now, it was said that she was planning on leaving him. It was said that things were on the they were on the outs. So I don't know where this really lies because I haven't really watched his trial. I haven't really gotten a chance to really follow the evidence. But I do think this is a trial worth watching, and I'm going to probably get into that this week and definitely provide an update if I do. So that is just a quick little update for the week with the trials and what's going on in the current events in true crime. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I hope to continue posting similar videos to this, just quick updates so we can stay current, stay up to date with the events, and stay up to date with any trials that may be going on for the week. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.